In August 2017, the South African Reserve Bank formally established the FinTech Unit to look at how FinTech innovation will impact the policy and regulatory environment. Through its work, the Khokha project came about in 2018. Khokha means pay in isiZulu, and the main goal of the project was to build a proof-of-concept wholesale payment system for interbank settlement using a tokenized South African Rand on Distributed Ledger Technology, DLT. The proof of concept was developed and service providers were brought on board to participate in it. In 2016, financial sector regulators in the country, the Financial Intelligence Center, Financial Sector Conduct Authority, FSCA, National Treasury, and the South African Reserve Bank, SARB, established the Intergovernmental FinTech Working Group, the IFWG, to understand the growing role of FinTech firms and to understand how the regulators can proactively assess the risks and opportunities of the rapidly growing digital financial services innovation. Project Khokha 1 kicked off its work and involved South African banks as well as technical and support partners. The project had a settlement of 70,000 processed payments within 2 hours of initiation. This was achieved in real time. Here is a brief demo of the Project Khokha platform.
Go into the Reserve Bank facility to tokenize funds for a bank, and we're first going to do the 10 million for Absa Bank. And you can see the transaction is confirmed. And after that is confirmed, it's received by the sender, it's submitted to the network, and it's been successfully processed. Okay, and Absa Bank obviously having the same view, where they have received and they have confirmation that they've got 10 million now. You can see the Standard Bank see that they have received the payment from Absa Bank with the same details. So payment received from Standard Bank, transaction 1 to the value of 1 million. Nedbank can also see that transaction. They can see that a payment has been made from Absa Bank to Standard Bank.
What you'll also see is the transaction volume picking up. So the transactions are now running through. You can see the transactions coming through on the screens. You can see the balances updating.
A transaction, and Standard Bank and Absa Bank had full visibility of that transaction for 2 million. And there's even some customer details, a company name, the account number that should be credited, so that Nedbank can now take that transaction and process it into the back office system and give credit to the customer.
We have now concluded Project Khokha 2, which, building on PK1, extends the proof of concept to financial markets. PK2 explores the tokenization of further assets, including securities, in the trade life cycle on the Distributed Ledger Technology, or DLT. The settlement of the transaction, which moved the security to the buyer and the money to the seller, happened on DLT through a dedicated delivery versus payment contract, which allowed for an atomic swap through a series of verification processes. Here is a brief demo of how PK2 functions.
The users being signed in. As this is the first load of the day, it does take a bit of time to fully load all of our data from both Samos and our node. You'll see that the user is able to, at the bottom of the screen, filter through the different transactions that exist both within Samos and the CDBC network. And in just a second, we'll scroll up to the top of the screen where we will request the issuance of CDBC, specify an amount to be issued, and in a couple of seconds, we'll see the notifications come through on the top right-hand side.
In this way, settlement of two linked obligations using a DVP settlement mechanism is achievable on the platform. As a central bank, we are exploring potential efficiencies, benefits, and risks of new technology, including increased transparency in the holding of securities, reduction in costs due to automation, and multiple reconciliation processes. However, these potential benefits also introduce possible risks, especially in the legal and regulatory framework for financial markets, which was not designed for trading, clearing, and settlement in a DLT-based environment. The SARB, together with other regulators, will continue its work in a manner that is appropriate and responsive.